Lord, you search me and you know me when I sit and when I stand. You understand my thoughts from afar. Behind me and before me, your hand is there to guide me. Too wonderful for me, this knowledge is beyond my reach. Before a word is on my tongue, you know it all before it has begun. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. Where can I hide from your presence? Where can I flee from your face? If I climb to the heavens, you are there. If I lie in the grave, you are there. If I take the wings of the dawn, or dwell at the sea's further sand, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand hold me fast. For you night is as the day. For you light and darkness are the same. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. In secret, as in the depths of the earth, you form my inmost being. My very self hidden, my bones were not hidden from you. Knit me in my mother's womb. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made. I praise you, God, that I am fearfully, wonderfully made.
Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful, Jesus will save. Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful, Jesus will save. Jesus will save. Down in the human heart, crushed by the tempter, feelings lie buried that grace can restore. Touched by a loving heart, awakened by kindness, and chords that were broken will vibrate once more. rescue the perishing. Duty demands it. Strength for thy labor, the Lord will provide. Back to the narrow way, patiently win them, until the poor wanderer, a Savior has died. Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful, Jesus will save. Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful, Jesus will save. Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful, Jesus will save. Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful, Jesus will save. Jesus will save. Jesus will save. Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful, Jesus will save. Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful. Jesus will
lift up the fallen, tell them of Jesus, the mighty to save. Rescue the perishing, care for the dying.
I am a pro-life cyber counselor with Miss Rose, and so then the boyfriend started asking me questions about, why do you think abortion is legal? Why do you think? Are you out here? Why do you care so much about us? And I just told him, I said, I care about you, I care about your wife, I care about your child. I don't know what you guys want to do, but if you're here today, then that shows me that you guys have a decision to make and you're struggling with that decision. And then he went on and then he said, well, it's just one child. And I simply said, you're right, it is one child. That one child matters. And I want to tell you a story about a little boy who went down to the ocean to collect water and try to drain off the sea. And then the man came up to him and said, what are you doing? And the little boy said to him, I'm draining out the ocean. And then the guy said, well, you can't do that. It's impossible. The ocean is so big. And then the little boy said, one bucket at a time. To this guy, told him, one life at a time. Our friend was very touched, and when I talked to him about scripture, about God, and how he will forgive you, and how you, Daddy, need to be a hero to this child instead of sitting there watching your son or daughter get sucked out of your white school into a vacuum and then getting a foot cut up and then thrown into a dumpster. And I told him, I said, well, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about your child doing that? And he said, well, I feel awful now. He says, I've been very touched by your presence out here and this is best and what you're doing. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to try to get my girlfriend out of there. So then about an hour later, he came walking out, and I offered him the healing literature. He comes up to me, pulls the car towards the driveway, and says, "We kept our child."
God bless you. Thank you for choosing life for your little child.